Well, if you've ever had an idea you thought might make life a little bit easier, there are people out there who will help inventors promote their new product concepts to major manufacturers, distributors, and retailers. In studio to talk about the process, Vincent Kehoe from Innovative Licensing and Promotion. Vince, thanks very much for popping by.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
First off, I guess, how popular is this whole idea of, having an invention and wanting to bring it to market?
Well, I probably get calls from 20 to 30 inventors a month, and I think at some point in time in everyone's life we've all come up with an idea of some sort. There's no real psychographics or demographics on who an inventor is. It's almost like we all come up with ideas from time to time.
Well, that's just it. I mean, we have ideas. How do you decide, or how do people decide, what's a good idea and what's a bad idea?
Well, first they go to their family and friends, and it seems like family and friends never want to say, no, this is a lousy idea. From there, if you wanted to get a little bit more technical, I think that there's 5 key points to evaluating an idea. First of all, does the product serve a purpose and solve a problem? Potential size of the marketplace, profit margins, competitive items, and patentability are probably the key things you want to look at right off the bat.
And I guess when I'm thinking about lots of inventions, I mean when they come to you, I mean if you're at home and you have an idea, and you think, geez, where do I want to go with it? What are your options?
Well, there's really 2 different roads that you can travel down. You can either go down the road of manufacturing and marketing the product yourself, which involves a fair time commitment. It's kind of a quit your day job type scenario. Or the other option is to just take the product, get patent protection on the idea, and go out and sell the rights to a bigger company and just take a royalty and run.
Now, where does someone like you come into the equation then? How do you make this process easier? Why would, what would be the advantages of, going that route?
Well, in my process, which is called licensing, we get patent protection on the idea, and we're effectively going out and handing the ball off to a bigger company and letting them run with it and just taking a royalty. In that process, your main costs are just the patenting costs, which is on average $2,000 to $8,000. And then once you hand it off to that company, they run with it, they put it in with their product line, and they market it throughout North America or wherever as effectively as they can, and you stand back. So your costs are considerably less if you license it out. Your royalty or your per unit return is a little less too, but hopefully the company you're dealing with will sell a lot of product.
What are some of the products, some of the inventions that have come your way that I guess maybe been success stories?
Well, I've seen some things like this at an early stage. This is actually a headband designed specifically for women or people with long hair. You'll notice that it has a sticky backing on it. The idea, and I'm not the best model for this, but the idea behind this was to hold down your hair during sports events so that those wisps of hair wouldn't end up in your eyes. I helped the clients develop this product, and eventually we licensed this product to a company in the U.S. named ProMarks. They took over the product, they manufacture and market and distribute it, and they sold 20,000 units right out of the gate throughout the U.S.
I mean, but basically, I mean, it's a headband. Right?
It's a headband.
But I mean, like, because it's been presented in the right way, or because it offers something a little bit different, it's considered like an invention that is maybe a little bit more unique.
Sure, sure. I mean, the market is always looking for the fun new product, and this solves a problem. It's got now the neoprene backing, which sticks to the head and holds down the hair effectively, and it's just an improvement on existing headbands. Sometimes inventions are major technological breakthroughs, and as a result, the market warms up to it. But then sometimes a product is something like this, where the product is really just something that the market needs right now. This is now a full.
What is that?
It's called a stealth board. It's actually now called a tiki board, and this has now become a full-size board that you would sit on and paddle around in, mainly for kids. Okay. There's a gap in the marketplace. The inventor noticed the gap. As a kid, you're either in a rubber inner tube floating around, or you're in an adult-sized boat. There's really nothing in between. So the inventor came to me with this mock-up, and now we have the full model. We sold the rights to a manufacturer in Quebec. They took over the manufacturing and distribution to the world. We have a 45,000 unit performance commitment from them over the next 5 years, and we have about $11 per unit royalty coming out of this. And they're launching that into the U.S. right now.
Okay, what's this bad boy?
TP lock, yeah.
TP lock.
If you have kids, or if you have a pet, you know full well that at a certain age, between 1 and 2, they're walking around and they're pulling off the toilet paper. This is just a simple device that goes over your toilet paper roll, holds it down, but still you can still use the toilet paper easily yourself.
And somebody just had this idea at home and decided that this is how they wanted to. I've got an idea, and let's see if, and this is the end result.
Yeah, yeah. And now this is actually being test marketed throughout Canada. We're just dealing with a number of distributors who've shown interest in it for the U.S. market.
Now, Vince, I can't help but notice that you also have maybe a food invention over here as well.
Yeah, we see everything, Dave. This is a product, a lady found that power bars and that energy bars don't taste all that good.
Yeah.
So she came up with her own recipe with organic ingredients and whatnot, and she actually cooked this bar in her kitchen, designed her own packaging, and she's been selling this throughout Western Canada on her own.
Oh.
Yeah, and getting a ton of feedback because people,
they actually enjoy the taste.
Take a bite into one and they say, I want some more. I'll give you one later. You'll like it.
Thanks. I appreciate it. And what else you got?
Well, we have a fan vac. This is actually being produced in Calgary by a Calgary inventor. We actually have a manufacturing facility here in town, L&L Tool and Mold. They do a lot of great injection molding. And this is a fan vac. You stick the hose of your vacuum cleaner into it, and you put it on up, and you slide your fan blade right into it, and it cleans it right off. Because you know what a hassle they are.
All designed to try to make life a little bit easier.
Exactly.
All right. So again, maybe just to recap, if somebody's got an idea that they think, okay, I've got something and I want to run with it, you know, what's the best next step to take?
I think, first of all, you have to find out if someone else has a patent on the idea. You can go to uspto.gov and do your own patent search. That's the United States Patent Office.
All right.
See what you can find. If you can't find that, then I would suggest get a professional search done by a search agent and see what they can find. If nobody has the invention, then there's a good chance you can get a patent on it yourself up there.
All right, Vincent, thanks very much for popping by this afternoon and talking about the world of inventions.